Supposed to be a fun, light-hearted episode of The Kelly Clarkson Show. Mark Wahlberg was there to promote his latest action comedy, and the audience buzzed with excitement as Kelly greeted him warmly. But from the moment they sat down, the energy felt off. Kelly, known for her bubbly and inviting demeanor, asked a playful question about one of Mark's old roles. Joking about a Funky Bunch dance challenge, Mark chuckled at first, but his smile tightened. "Kelly, I've been trying to move past that phase for decades," he said, his tone sharper than the audience expected. The crowd gave a polite laugh, unsure if it was part of the banter or a brewing storm. Things got tenser when Kelly shifted the topic to the physical demands of Mark's new film. She teased about his intense workout routines, asking if he thought they were a bit over the top. Mark leaned forward, his voice dropping slightly over the top. "I call it discipline. Maybe if more people had that, they'd achieve more." The audience let out an awkward "oh," and Kelly's eyes widened slightly before she laughed it off, saying, "Hey now, don't come for my cupcake habit." But the playful tone wasn't landing. Mark seemed locked into defense mode. Kelly, trying to steer things back to friendly waters, brought up a recent charity event Mark had attended. But instead of a heartfelt story, he launched into a passionate rant about how Hollywood doesn't do enough for real people, and accused some celebrities of using charity as a PR stunt. Kelly, visibly taken aback, tried to interject, "Well, I think a lot of folks are doing their best." But Mark cut her off, mid-sentence. "You think so? I know so. I've seen the fakeness up close." A few gasps rippled through the audience, and the tension was no longer subtle, it was palpable. As the segment continued, Kelly made another attempt at humor, joking that Mark should come back for a Kelly bootcamp episode. "I'd love to see you in my spin class," she teased. But Mark's response was curt. "Spin class isn't training. Kelly, it's just sweating in a room to pop songs." The crowd gave a nervous laugh, but Kelly's smile was tighter now. Her producer could be seen gesturing off stage, likely signaling to wrap things up early. The breaking point came when Kelly Blair, clearly trying to diffuse the atmosphere, asked about Mark's family life. "Do your kids think you're as cool as we all do?" she asked. Instead of answering warmly, Mark smirked and replied, "Honestly, they probably respect me more than you do right now." The audience went silent. Kelly blinked, then tilted her head, her voice calm but firm. "Mark, this is a friendly show. We lift people up here." Mark leaned back, arms crossed, muttering something under his breath that the microphones barely caught. The tension was now undeniable. Kelly, still maintaining professionalism, thanked Mark for coming, but as she began the closing remarks, Mark stood up, removed his microphone, and handed it to a crew member without a word. The audience watched in stunned silence as he strode off stage before the segment had officially ended. Kelly, visibly rattled, tried to keep the show moving. "All right, we'll be right back after this break," she said with a forced smile, her voice just a touch unsteady. Backstage, sources later claimed, things got even more heated. Mark reportedly confronted a producer, saying he felt ambushed by the tone of the questions. The producer allegedly replied, "It was supposed to be fun. Mark Hugh took it too seriously." Meanwhile, Kelly remained in her dressing room for several minutes before re-emerging, still smiling for the cameras, but noticeably quieter for the rest of the taping, within hours. Audience members who had been at the live taping began posting on social media, sharing their shock. Hashtags like #Wahlberg, walk off, and #Kelly Clash started trending. Clips of the awkward moments quickly went viral, with thousands debating who was at fault. Some viewers sided with Mark, saying Kelly's jokes had been a bit too pointed, while others accused him of overreacting and being disrespectful. By the next morning, entertainment outlets had picked up the story. Headlines read, "Mark Wahlberg storms off Kelly Clarkson's show," and "From Fun to Fury, Wahlberg's on-air meltdown." Publicists for both sides declined to comment officially, but sources close to the situation hinted that the episode might be edited before airing if it aired at all. Fans flooded Kelly's social media with messages of support, while Mark's followers defended his no-nonsense attitude. In the days that followed, the incident became late-night comedy fodder, with hosts joking about the fighter living Up to his name, Kelly handled it gracefully, telling her own audience in a later episode, "Sometimes people just have a bad day. We wish Mark all the best." Mark remained silent, fueling speculation. But one thing was certain: the clash had cemented itself as one of the Kelly Clarkson show's most infamous moments. A reminder that even in the friendliest of settings, live TV can explode without warning. 2 days after the walk-off, Mark Wahlberg finally broke his silence with an Instagram video filmed in his home gym. Wearing a hoodie and visibly agitated, he addressed the controversy directly. "Look, I didn't go on Kelly's show to get clowned. I respect her, but I'm not going to sit there and be the butt of every joke for an hour. I've worked too hard, for too long to deal with that kind of thing," he said, his voice sharp and unwavering. The video, only a minute long, ended with him saying, "No bad blood, but I stand by what I did. I won't apologize for defending myself," within minutes. The clip was being shared across Twitter, TikTok, and entertainment blogs, igniting another wave of debate. Kelly Clarkson, known for her warm and measured approach, responded the following day with a video. But on her own show, without mentioning Mark's name, she addressed what happened the other day to her live studio audience. "I believe in kindness, even when things get heated," she said. "We all have moments where we're not our best selves, and that's okay. We move forward." Her audience applauded, but some eagle-eyed viewers noticed the slight tension in her expression, as if she was holding back stronger feelings. Meanwhile, media outlets were having a field day. Entertainment shows ran split-screen footage. On one side, Kelly smiling and laughing in the early moments of the interview. On the other, Mark's increasingly tense expressions. Talk radio hosts debated whether celebrity interviews had become too invasive or whether stars like Wahlberg were becoming too thin-skinned. Even late-night hosts chimed in, with Jimmy Kimmel joking, "If you're gonna walk off a talk show, at least make it dramatic, flip a chair or something." Behind the scenes, producers from The Kelly Clarkson Show leaked that the segment would in fact be heavily edited before airing. According to one crew member, there was about 15 minutes of back and forth that just can't go on TV. "The tone was wrong, and we don't want Kelly to look like she lost control of the room." Still, NBC executives reportedly considered airing an extended, uncut version on their streaming platform. Knowing the controversy had already piqued massive public interest, Todd * in the days that followed. Paparazzi began trailing both Kelly and Mark, hoping for a comment. Mark was spotted leaving a Los Angeles gym, looking irritated when a reporter shouted, "Do you regret walking out on Kelly?" He muttered, "Not at all," before getting into his SUV. Kelly, meanwhile, was photographed outside a recording studio in Nashville, waving politely to fans but refusing to answer questions about the feud. Then, a new twist hit social media. An audience member from the taping uploaded an unedited cell phone recording of the final moments before Mark walked off. The grainy clip clearly captured him muttering under his breath, "This is a waste of my time," before yanking off his mic. This raw footage reignited the frenzy, with hashtags like #Wahlberg mic drop and #Kelly vs Mark trending for days. Fans dissected every second, arguing over whether Kelly had pushed too far or Mark had simply overreacted. Several celebrities began taking sides publicly. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson posted on Twitter, "Both Kelly and Mark are friends sometimes. Live TV gets heated. We've all been there." Meanwhile, comedian Kathy Griffin quipped, "If Mark Wahlberg can't handle a joke from Kelly Clarkson, maybe he should stick to acting with CGI teddy bears." The back and forth spilled into podcast discussions, with some hosts predicting that Mark's tough guy brand might take a hit. Mark's PR team, sensing the fallout could affect his upcoming film's box office, arranged for him to appear on a rival talk show to clear the air. In a carefully scripted interview, Mark insisted there was no personal beef with Kelly and that the incident was blown out of proportion by the internet. But while he smiled through most of it, the moment Kelly's name came up, a flicker of irritation crossed his face, a detail fans quickly clipped and shared online by the end of the month. The story had morphed into a full-blown pop culture moment. Merchandise appeared on Etsy t-shirts, reading, "Don't funk with Kelly," and mugs saying, "Mark walked, Kelly talked." Memes flooded Instagram, and TikTok creators reenacted the walk-off in comedic skits. Far from dying down, the incident had taken on a life of its own, cementing itself as one of the most talked about celebrity talk show clashes of the year.